From April 7th to July 19th, 1944, a record of 800,000 deaths of the Tutsi minority group and others were brutally killed over the course of 3 months. The infamous Rwandan Genocide. Before the genocide, Rwanda comprised of 3 main ethnic groups: Tutsi, the monarchy, and Twa, the original inhabitants of Rwanda, were the minority groups, while the Hutu, ordinary farmers, were the majority group. This was so until Rwanda became a German colony in 1899, and later a Mandate territory of the League of Nations under Belgium's administration, after World War I. Soon with time, these colonial powers encouraged political divide. The colonials quickly emphasized ethnic identity cards, and began giving preferential treatments towards the Tutsis due to them being monarchs. By dividing the ethnic groups, Rwanda soon became prey of a classic divide-and-rule strategy by the colonials. This preferentism caused tensions which soon led to violence way before the genocide even occurred. In 1959, a Hutu revolution took place, forcing over 330,000 Tutsis to flee the country. When the Hutus were victorious by 1961, they exiled Rwanda's Tutsi monarchy and declared the country a republic, soon after Rwanda gained its independence from Belgium in 1962. However, even with the victorious freedom, ethnic violence still resided in the streets of Rwanda. In 1973, a military group installed a Hutu, Major General Juvenal Habyarimana, in power. He founded the National Revolutionary Movement for Development and became Rwanda's sole leader for the next 20 years. In 1990, however, forces of mainly Tutsi refugees, the Rwandese Patriotic Front, invaded Rwanda through Uganda, beginning a violent civil war. Government officials directed massacres of the Tutsi, killing hundreds. By 1993, the conflict was resolved with a formal peace accord, the Arusha Peace Accord. This created a government that also included the RPF. However, this angered Hutu extremists. Even with the ceasefire, the conflict still led to insecurity and hostility. On April 6, 1944, a plane carrying Habyarimana was shot down, raising the conflict even more. By the next hour, members of Rwandan armed forces in Hutu militia, the Interahamwe, and the Impuzagambi began slaughtering Tutsis and moderate Hutus. Soon, government-founded Hutu militia flooded all over Rwanda, murdering and performing acts of physical and sexual violence among Tutsi politicians and civilians. Officials rewarded killers with food, drinks, drugs, and money, encouraging the killing. Adding to the insanity, UN officials in charge of the peace accord were told to abandon the ongoing conflict in Rwanda. Over the course of 3 months, over 800,000 Rwandans were brutally slaughtered. Murders first started in Kigali, quickly spread throughout the country. By July 19, 1944, the Tutsi Army, or the RPF, took control of the country and ceased continuing fighting. French troops also established the Turquoise Zone, a safe zone that helped to prevent any further genocide, ending the 100 Days of Hell. By the end of the conflict, over 120,000 Rwandans awaited trials for their killings. Knowing this would take time, officials devised a better solution, using traditional Rwandan techniques to resolve the conflict, called gacaca. These trials consisted of no official judges or attorneys. Most of the evidence was based on spoken word. People guilty of masterminding or initiating acts of violence were taken to traditional court systems, while others were issued penalties. These trials continued over the next decade and a half. Rwanda's journey from the genocide has come a long way from 1994. It's a powerful reminder of the power of forgiveness and how global involvement can impact and prevent atrocities like these in the future.